Hey up. Hey up, we're live. Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. We're live for Leicester City against Liverpool in a massive Premier League game that has huge connotations in the relegation battle for Leicester and the Liverpool for the top four race. It's a massive Monday night football game. I think Liverpool are favourites here, but Leicester are fighting for their lives in this Premier League relegation scrap. As a Man United fan, this could be big tonight. It could be really big if Leicester could just get a point. Why is that? Well, I'll show you why. Because Liverpool at this moment in time are in the race for top four. They've got 62 points. They've got 3 games to go. If they win those 3, they get 71 points, which means both Newcastle and Manchester United would need 2 wins from their last 3 games to get more than 71 points. However, if Liverpool were to draw tonight, even if they won their last 2 games, they can only get to 69, which means that Manchester United and Newcastle both need 4 points from 9. So it's big. Liverpool need to win to keep the pressure on Manchester United and Newcastle for the title, for the top 4 race. Leicester at the other end, quick tab change here. This is the bottom. Now remember, Leicester have got to go to Newcastle after this. If they don't win tonight, I can't see them winning at Newcastle, which means they'd have to win the last game of the season, which is West Ham. Would 33 points be enough? I don't think 33 points is going to be enough. I think Leeds will win again. I think Everton will win again. So for me, Leicester tonight, if they lose, they're relegated. They won't be officially relegated, but I think it's over for Leicester based on having to go to Newcastle after this. So massive game, and we're looking forward to it. Let's have a look at team news. We'll get the stats carousel going round now, and you can have a look at the teams. Leicester have got Johnny Evans playing. I don't know whether that's a normal thing or not to play Johnny Evans, but they have got Johnny Evans in their team tonight. Liverpool have got, I've not seen it, Mo Salah in their team. But the Leicester team is Everson in goal, Pereira, Faes, Evans, Castagnet, Tielemans, Ndidi, Samari, Maddison, Vardy and Barnes. I mean, on paper, that's not a bad side, really, but it has been a bad side. Liverpool, Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson, Henderson, Fabinho and Jones, and then Salah, Gakpo and Diaz, Jota and Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez is not on the bench. Maybe he's injured. I don't know. It's Jota is on the bench. So loads of action coming up for you this week as well. We've got the Manchester City, Real Madrid second leg on Wednesday night. We've got Newcastle Brighton on Thursday night, which I just can't wait for after seeing Brighton yesterday, and Newcastle have had a fantastic season. So minor toe injury, says Jake Bird, for Darwin Nunez. But up, come on Leicester, that's what we're doing tonight. Look, rivalry's rivalry. I can respect. You know, I've given now a lot of respect for Arsenal. I do not believe that they bottled the title when you've got to get 95 points to win it, and only 3 other clubs have done that in Premier League history. I don't see how that's a bottle. I think it's disrespectful to Man City to say that Arsenal bottled it. What are Man City then? Just some, pub team. But, I've said some respectful things about Liverpool over the years as well, but not tonight. And this is about rivalry, as it always is. And Leicester could do Manchester United and Newcastle a massive favour tonight, and I hope that they do. But if I'm being honest, and this is the kicker, I actually think that I think Liverpool are going to win, and I think they might win quite comfortably. I think you know what? Jinx. I'm going to go 3-0 to Liverpool. Yeah, get you what you thinking in the chat. Let me know. But yeah. That reminds me of something, actually. I get ideas for driving with Goldbridge, little prompts during the week, and from conversations I have. And there's a conversation I've had today that's reminded me of something. Who remembers the film Teen Wolf, basically? Did you know there was a sequel to Teen Wolf? The first film had Michael J. Fox in it, and the second film had Bateman from Ozark in it. What was his name? Not Patrick. He's from American Psycho. Jason Bateman was in Teen Wolf 2. I never realised that. tell you what I've been watching lately. Loads of porn. No. You can tell it's a lie because I didn't make eye contact. I've been watching a lot of there's a really good series on Paramount Plus called Fever, all about the Premier League. Watched an episode last night about... I forgot that Harry Redknapp... It's very relevant. I forgot that... I think it was the 2005 season that Southampton got relegated. Harry Redknapp went from Portsmouth to Southampton, relegated to Southampton, and went back to Portsmouth. I completely forgot about it. That's why I love watching old Premier League years, because there's loads of stuff that goes on that you forget. Get your questions in tonight. It is That's Football. We do like to have a little bit of chat and banter while we're watching a game of football. I don't allow it as much on the United stand because I get quite emotionally involved in that. But on this channel, I'm more than happy to talk about films, favourite packet of crisps, TV series. I will not do anything over 18, so we're not going to talk about bets or what's your favourite Pornhub category, things like that. We won't do that, but anything else it's welcome. I just must also say we've just kicked off here. I've got to get the timer up on the screen. I sort of have to ignore, because I don't want to come across as too big-headed. I have to ignore all the top bin stuff. Yeah, I scored an absolute banger this afternoon in my back garden. It's on my Instagram feed at Goldbridge Mark if you want to see it. I put a bit of a soundtrack on it. It didn't need it. The goal stands for itself. It doesn't need a soundtrack. But you can watch it on at Goldbridge Mark. It's an absolute banger. Top bins, left foot, volley. The ball doesn't touch the ground for about 10 seconds, and I just bang it into the top corner. Goal of the season contender. I don't know why I get asked to be the coach. Well, I do know why I got asked to be the coach at Sidemen Charity Game, because they want my tactical genius. But really, you're depriving people of goals like that. I mean, I keep seeing these charity matches with subpar players being invited. I'm like, why am I not being invited? Is it fear again? I'm fed up of people being scared. One, the crowds would be huge if you had me playing. I'm just saying. And two, I won't be able to play forever. I'm not that... I'll be in my 40s soon, and then I won't be able to do it. So, anyway, back to reality. Hi, Mark. Just a quick shout-out. Just to ask, you had a chance to listen to the band I suggested yesterday, Mercy Kelly, Bring the Mancunian Class. I haven't yet. 1 million subs for a giveaway, but I will. And damn you, Goldbridge, I was confident in our win until you pulled out the jinx powers, says Booth. I need it, mate. I need it. This could be... I know it's a Monday night football and it's Liverpool Leicester. I'd normally be a bit like that about watching it, but this is like Man United are playing to me. I think Newcastle fans are the same. Obviously, Liverpool fans are playing. The relegation teams. I think this game's weirdly got more people watching it than Man City Everton, because Man City really was about Arsenal, and them. This is about all the relegation teams, Leeds, Everton, Forest, they'll all be watching it. You got Man United and Newcastle, we're interested in it. You've also got Villa and Brighton thinking, can they catch Liverpool if they lose? It's got a lot going on this game tonight in relation to many areas. Can I borrow £2, says Christian, who gives a £2 super chat. I'll get you a joke. Leicester are going to be up for it, says Savage. The trouble is, Leicester's defence is terrible. It's like taking a breadstick to a sword fight. So, well, that's a good film. Say what you like about Tom Cruise, and trust me, I wouldn't disagree, but he does make good films. Top Gun Maverick, cracking film. Far and Away. You're not in Ireland anymore. He said that, not me. Shannon, what a corker you are, Shannon. Oh, Shannon, you're a corker. Tom Cruise and his Irish accent there. Cocktail's a great film. But the one I wanted to talk about was Samurai. Last Samurai. The Last Samurai is a great film. Billy Connolly. I played the game. Yeah, Last Samurai is good. Anyway, good start to this game. Leicester have got to get the... I don't know whether I've told you this. I've played the game. at that pitch. I've played the game at here. Collateral's a team a film I need to revisit. What's going on with Jamie Foxx? Do you regret selling Evans? Says Zach. Yeah. We let him go ridiculously cheap. Would you take James Ward-Prowse from Southampton? No, Paul. I don't know whether you watched the football fill-in, but me, Darren Bent and Ben Foster were talking about this today. I don't think Ward-Prowse starts for any top 6 side. So why would you buy him? Right, Leicester have got a chance to whip a cross in here. It's James Maddison on his wand of a right foot. Here it comes. It's not a bad cross. Van Dijk gets up. Tielemans slips over. Offside anyway. Jamie Foxx is really ill. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's been kept very, very quiet, hasn't it? But I've heard some disturbing stuff. Thoughts on Van Persie? Says Impossible Movies. I love him. Says Impossible Movies. Well, I liked Van Persie at Man United, but I don't think many Arsenal fans like him. Who would you take, Maddison or Kudos? Says Sultan. Kudos. Oh, got the ball. Like a foul. Just be careful tonight. If you are a Leicester or a Liverpool fan, in fact, all of us, because we all want different things, this referee's crap. He's absolutely rubbish. I can't even remember his bloody name, but I know his face. He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. How do you think Burnley will get on next season, says Reese? I think Burnley have got a good chance of... Colour of Money, Paul Newman is a classic as well, says Farms. It is. We're talking Tom Cruise films. Might be a bit of a prat in real life, but his films are good. That Johnny Evans tackle is a foul. You can't tackle like that. Pawson. That's it. He's terrible. He's a terrible ref. He really is. He's one of the worst, in my opinion. Here's Harvey Barnes. He's a very inconsistent player, isn't he, Harvey Barnes? On his day, I remember I would have put him in the England squad at one point, but very, very inconsistent. Daniel Taylor says James Ward-Prowse would get into a Spurs midfield. But Daniel, I said James Ward-Prowse would not get into a top 6 team. You've mentioned Spurs. Have you realised your mistake? Favourite FIFA game, says Tobias. I don't remember them. I don't live my life like that. Cross comes in, corner, headed away. I think even a point for Leicester gives them a little bit of a chance. I personally think Leicester and Leeds are going down with Southampton. I think Forest and Everton will be safe. Hi Mark, are you a fan of the Arctic Monkeys, says John. Not massively, to be honest. I mean, I don't dislike them, but I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm a massive fan. Hi Mark, if Sunderland get in the Premier League, would you do a Newcastle United versus Sunderland watch-along? Says Kieran. If it meant something, I would. I like to watch football, as you know, and I'll watch a game if it's got something on it. Like, you know, tonight. I'm no Liverpool fan, but you know, there's a lot going on this. Maddison does well, good tackle. Mark, bench start sell. Red Bull, Monster, Carabao. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? Says I'm all in. This is the honest truth. The only drink I've drank out of those 3 is Red Bull. I haven't drank any of the other 2. Edge of Tomorrow, is that the one with Jake Gyllenhaal in it and the snow? If it is, yes, I have. I don't particularly agree with the phrases, but some people need to know the difference between the top 6 and the big 6, says Atomic Johnson. Yeah, I'm talking about the top 6. So I'm talking about Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool and Brighton. I don't put Tottenham in the top 6 at the moment. You could put Chelsea in there if you wanted to. That's day after tomorrow. Yeah. What's The Edge of Tomorrow then? The Edge of Tomorrow. 2014 film. Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. I think I've seen it. Is that the one where they keep living the same day? Day after day? Or is that Minority Report? Watch the movie, Air. Great film. Jordan's mum to make that deal when he's unproven is amazing, says Brian. Oh, so many people have messaged me and said, oh, saw you going on about Air at the weekend. What a great film. It's on Amazon Prime. Lovely ball. Go on, go on. Oh, Allison's too quick off his line. Harvey Barnes had sprung the offside trap. Few Good Men's a very good film. And so is The Firm, which is not a porno. I'll tell you what's not a bad Tom Cruise film, War of the Worlds. I just don't like them bloody robots that pick you up and churn you up and then spray you out like a fertiliser. Why are they doing it in England as well? Like, do it in your own planet. Those robots are idiots. They basically pick all these humans up, churn them up in a big masher, and then splurt their blood out like fertiliser. This is England or Earth. We don't use human blood to grow crops. We use pesticides and horse shit. You prats. Dilemma for you, Marky. Would you take 4th place and Man City get the treble, or 5th place and we win the FA Cup? Oh, Harold, you're an arse. Joel Morris says Top Gun Maverick was a decent Tom Cruise film. It was. I'm not moving away from that. So would I take 5th place in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but Man City don't win the treble? Or would I take 4th place, not the FA Cup, and Man City win a treble? My obvious answer is I would take 5th place and stop them winning the treble, and we'd have to be in the Europa League again, which I hate. But then part of me thinks, at what point do you stop obsessing about Man City winning a treble? Because they're probably going to do it at some point. They've been knocking on the door for years. How many, and what if next season they do it? Like, I know I do want them to, I know I'm going to say 5th and stop them winning the treble. But, lovely ball into Harvey Barnes. It's a 2v2. He's got to go. He's got to take Konate on. No, idiot. Oh, no. Oh, Alisson, good keeping. He slipped Vardy in. Marty, complete legend. Thank you for all you do, says Roger. Thank you for watching, Roger. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's a good ball by Harvey Barnes, actually. I thought he got it wrong. Good keeping by Alisson, who would be my goalkeeper of the season, by the way. I would take 5th place and the FA Cup to stop them winning the treble, but it does bother me that, they could probably go and do it again next year. Did you watch Howard Webb on Sky, Mark, says James? No. I was doing United Stand. Leicester's up for the game, says Beerid. Yeah, they've got to be careful here because Liverpool haven't really been in the game that much. No shots on target for either team, and we've had 12 minutes here, but we know Liverpool's quality, and the interesting thing about Liverpool is they've won a lot of games by 1 goal in the last month, so you've got to be careful. Decent game by Maddison. Oh, he'll be on the move this summer, won't he? Where do we think Maddison's going to go? I reckon he's off to Wrexham. They probably could afford him, to be fair. No, I think he's off to Newcastle, isn't he? I think Newcastle, he's going to go straight into that Newcastle team. And Newcastle need a player like that. I don't think he'll go Spurs because I think Newcastle will be able to offer him Champions League football and more money. So I think he'll go Newcastle. I think it'd be a good signing for Newcastle as well. Spurs would have been a good one, but I think if Newcastle want him, he'll go Newcastle, won't he? Villa could go for him, yeah. Villa would be a good move. you know, honest answer. Javier Hernandez would have kept Leeds up, but better than Bamford, says Jason. Thank you, Jason. And Nick97 says, if we had enough cover, would you loan out Garnacho in an ideal world or keep him, says Nick. No, I think Garnacho has to stay at Manchester United. How do you think Arsenal will do in the Champions League, says Kieran? Probably quarterfinals, much the same as what I'd predict for Man United. Arsenal desperately need to improve their squad. I haven't spoken to Paul Ince in a while, actually, Christian. Give him a bit of space. Good play by Ndidi. Robert, thank you very much for your super chat there. Thanks for all the super chats coming in. You can do that through the $ if you want. So 15 minutes here. Encouraging. Ronnie Pickering. It's an encouraging start from Leicester, but you just have that wariness that Liverpool have got the quality on the break. And they might just be feeling their way into this game. But it's been a high energy start from Leicester. Of course, even if they get the goal, the game will shift, won't it? Trent's got it on the right-hand side. Wins a corner. This is where Liverpool can be quite dangerous, you know. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. I've got no idea what we're doing for subscribers. I probably need to change the number, but we are on the road to 1 million, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Be wary of Liverpool on the corners. Cross comes in high. Canate, they win a lot. They win a lot. Would you back the call-in shows on United Stand? Says Joel Morris. Yeah, I would like to bring that back actually. What do you think United should do with Ahmad next season? I think he should be given a chance, says John. Oh, I think he will be given a chance as well. Daddy J, welcome to the Members Club. Don't know what that was all about. Spontaneous noise bridge. You ever been on the train with people who do that? It's yeah, we're on 954,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're on the road to 955. Get involved with That's Football. Loads of watch-alongs this week. Real Madrid, Man City on Wednesday. Probably the biggest one of the week, but I've got to be honest. I think this one's massively intriguing. And I think Newcastle-Brighton on Thursday will be a lovely start to the weekend. You know, the unofficial start to the weekend is Thursday night. If you know, you know. Would you take Ndidi at United? Says Ryan. No, I wouldn't, Ryan. You know why? I think he's fell off. So, no. I wouldn't. Would anybody else? I think you've got to look somewhere at this Leicester side and say, well, it looks like a good team, but clearly it's not. You know, Tielemans, Barnes, Maddison, and Ndidi. They can't all be good and then fight in a relegation battle. So, you know, there's a problem. There's a problem, isn't there? Problem in that team. I think it already said 954. I don't know. My missus is going on a hen do this weekend, and I'm worried she's going to run off with the butler in the bath. Run off with the butter in the bath, says Treble Champ. I've seen a lot of these hen do videos. I'm sure some of you've seen them as well. And I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'd be worried. I'd be worried, treble champ. It's like they lose all their liberties. Like some of the stuff they're doing on a nightclub floor. Like people are watching and they're putting it in. It's just be worried, treble champ. Be worried. Cross comes in. Then again, I have seen hen do's where they just go and have a nice meal and talk about, you know, shopping and haircuts and, you know, designer clothes and stuff. None of that stuff goes on a stag do. You know, it's just football chat. Why are Leicester singing the national anthem, winding up our Liverpool fans? I can't hear that, but actually that's quite good banter in a way, because Liverpool booed the national anthem when the king was coronated. So if Leicester fans are singing it, it's banter, might wind them up. That's football banter, isn't it? I don't think Liverpool fans deep down would. Oblivion is an underrated Tom Cruise film. Several plot twists throughout. 8 out of 10 for me. Up the Chelsea and Bowley out, says Costless Titan. How do you think Burnley will do next season, says Kieran? This is the second time I've been asked this. I think they'll do well. I probably didn't answer it the first time, actually, so I apologise for that outburst. I think Burnley will probably do a Brentford. Not the same style of football, but I think there's a good chance that they'll come up and you know, stay up quite reasonably comfortably. I just saw Barca parade for men and women's team. Will Man United do the same? Do you think Barca back, says Deb B. Why would they do a parade for Man United's women's team? They lost. I don't care whether you're men or women. You don't get a parade for losing. If they win the league, they can have a parade, but here's Salah. Edge of the box, watch out. Oh, Liverpool win it back. It was Butler in the buff. She's a good one. Nothing to worry about, but your words have me concerned now, says Treble. I'm only winding you up. The videos I think we've seen of hen do's are probably staged. I can't imagine that. Well, the nightclubs I've been to, trust me, you would be booted out for heavy petting, yet let alone what they were putting in their mouths and stuff. So I wouldn't worry about it, Treble Champ. These videos people are on about, they're probably staged. Just use a low quality camera, make it look like it's real. I'm just guessing. I remember being in a nightclub. Well, I don't know whether it was. I think it was called Q on the River Liffey in Dublin, and we were out for a night out as a group. We were all in relationships, and there was a couple that had gone missing. And then next thing we know, they'd been booted out because whilst at the table, they'd decided to practice oral activity. And the bouncer saw them and kicked them out. We couldn't believe it. They weren't that sort. They're sex people, Lane. They do it on purpose. But yeah, so I don't imagine you'd get away with much in a club. Nice ball there. Leicester hanging on a little bit, but they win the free kick. Oral activity, yeah. It was just, they were just practicing. They were just singing for anybody under 18. They were just singing. Don't. Yeah, I've got to be careful. I'll tell you what, my back was. Yesterday my back was agony, wasn't it? Today, I woke up this morning. It was agony, and then. I don't know what I did, but it feels a lot better during the day. It normally gets worse. Mark, do you think that over the years the FIFA games have lost itself due to the lack of focus on anything else other than foot, says Anish. Very computer-generated question, that is. Yeah, I don't think the gameplay is anywhere near as good as it could be because they are only bothered about people's credit cards, and the game quality has suffered. Yes, I think the playability has declined. Locked in a box with a spider or a snake, Mark, says Robbo. Spider, easier to squash. Seb said to me the other day, I mean, he's only 5, he said he's scared of spiders. I said, imagine the size proportion of a spider against a human being. If we were the spider, a human being would be a skyscraper building. You know, I don't care if it's got a bite on it. The only way it's going to get you is by being a coward. If a spider wants a proper fight with a human being, you're going to get trod on, mate. And then they make you feel guilty. Oh, it's just an innocent spider. Well, what? Well, why has it got a venomous bite then? Spiders are cowards. They hide and then they'll bite you when you don't know it's going to happen. At least a snake has the balls. I don't know whether a snake does have balls. How do they procreate? But at least a snake will come at you. The snake's not messing around. I'm gonna attack you. A spider will creep up and bite you. So. I don't want to get into the whole punch a polar bear thing again. I think that got out of hand last week. I got a lot of complaints. Liverpool starting to come into this game now. 25 minutes. I think the first 12 minutes, Leicester put a lot of energy in. Let Liverpool have done what you normally do away from home. Feel them out first 10 minutes. Let them shoot their energy. And then start to impose your own game. Who would win in a fight? I don't know who they are, Biggie, so I can't really tell you. Thanks for the super chat though. Mark, would you close this watch along if there is breaking news on the takeover? Says Omar. Of course I bloody would. Leicester downfall is shocking. Why are they sitting back so much? They're so much better than this. As Raz, they're really not. They're really not, Raz. What's your technique on getting rid of a hiccup? Says Ahmed. Hold your breath. Well, first of all, this is why I'm a very good coach, because tactically you've got to figure out the gap between the hiccup and the hiccup. So if you get the hiccups, you will have another one. You can't stop them. So you've got to figure it out. You basically, unless you're like me, you can just do it off one. I can get rid of hiccups after one hiccup. I don't even have to wait to figure out the time. I can just do it. But if you're a normal human being, when you hiccup, there's a player injured at the moment, so don't worry. This is valuable information. So if you get hiccups, right? Hiccup, right? Wait for your next one, but count. Count how long it takes, right? If the gap is 8 seconds, as soon as you've had your second hiccup, get a bit of air in, count 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to 6, take a long, slow swallow. And you will catch the hiccup trying to hiccup while you're swallowing, and it will kill it. Kill it. It kills hiccups, that does. If you swallow on the time of the hiccup, then it will go away. I've just thought no, I'm not going to suggest that. Anyway, we're not back playing yet. Harvey Barnes has only just got up. And then you'll get quite experienced at it and you'll just be able to do it after the first one. The things you learn. Harvey Barnes is okay. They can't afford to lose him. Not in a game like this. I like what Leicester have done with their midfield though. Tielemans, Ndidi, Samari gives them a lot of physicality in there, and we know that has been Liverpool's weakness this season. So the first goal will be key. Obviously, if Liverpool get it, Leicester will have to open up. If Leicester get it, they can hit on the break. That's how it goes. Hi Mark, love your content. Random question. When cooking, how often do you burn food, and what's the best way to stop burning food? Says Sean Luke. The best way to stop burning food, Luke. Hold on. Diaz into the box for Liverpool. Oh, tried to do a bit of a eye trick there and shoot front post. Take a long, slow swallow. That's good advice. I'm going to pass it on, says Nick P. The way to not burn your food is to not leave it on the heat for too long. Or another way to burn your food is to not oil up your pan. You know, a lot of food needs to be cooked in an oil, doesn't it? And if you don't do that, it will burn if it's not got any natural fat in it. United fan here, would you consider Vardy as a backup striker if Leicester went down, says Taylor. I don't think it would be a bad one for the season. No, I think he's on his way out, Taylor. I don't think Vardy as a backup striker, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but not now. Not for a top 6 club. Hi March, I've researched Al-Thani. His net worth is around 2 billion, but the family is worth around 275. How is he able to buy United with only 2 billion net? Where's he getting the extra money from? His royal family he's part of. Yes. Forever PBM. I've never. I know some people get quite frustrated by this, but even though I want the super wealth option because I think it's the only way to get success, I'm not going to sit here and say that Al-Thani is not basically Qatar. I've always thought that. I just think it's a way to avoid the connection with PSG. Al-Thani basically represents Qatar to me. That's why I've always say the Qatar bid, because even though I want it, I'm not going to lie and pretend I don't think it is that. Do you think Man United could finish third after Newcastle's bottle against Leeds? Also, will you watch Newcastle Brighton? I will, Little Dragon. I will. And tonight is very much about the top 4. Liverpool are just starting to come into this game. The importance of that first goal is huge. And this is good play by Jones down the left-hand side. Into the box. He's done quite well. It's a good run by him there. Fabinho's still got it. He's going to shoot over the bar. I think only the Mission Impossible series improves in standard with every movie. Watch anytime, someday, never. Star Wars, Home Alone, Godfather, Suzanne-ish. It's lovely when people just chat to themselves in a chat, isn't it? Have you ever cried over football? Yeah, but I don't think I've ever cried through sadness. I've sort of been on the edge of tears from elation, definitely in '99, a couple of times. I think even with England when I was little, I was like, as a kid, I used to really like England. International football was different then. Did you see that rugby player carry his teammate in the marathon? Truly amazing stuff. I did, Nicholas. I did. Yeah, fantastic. It's funny because I don't normally watch the news, but on Saturday morning, that was on about them doing that Leeds marathon for motor neurone disease. And then a year ago, I saw the exact same thing. But I don't watch the news, but it's weird how I saw the same story a year apart. Fantastic cause. Do you think... Hi, Mark, tuning in with the fiance. What's for tea, says Tom. Is that a code for me to come round? Is that what we're using now? I'm only joking. Do you think Villa will get Europe? I think they sort of do deserve Europe, Theo, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough because you've got Spurs with 2 winnable games. Villa have got to play Brighton and Liverpool. That's a lovely ball over the top. Faze is rubbish. They've got to watch out for Faze, haven't you? He scored 2 last time at Anfield. Good cross. 1-0. What a goal. It's just so... That's all Faze's fault as well. He's fucking... I'm sure that Faze plays for Liverpool. He's absolute shite. That's basically 2 goals and an assist against Liverpool. He's rubbish. I'm convinced he plays for Liverpool. He's absolutely crap. What is he doing? As a centre-back here, I'll give you a little tip. Boot the ball out. Well, there might be an offside. There might be an offside. It's a great finish by Curtis Jones. There might be an offside from the ball. Charity football match, Goldbridge versus Ricky. No, charity football match, Neil. Goldbridge is the manager, and I play up front. There might be an offside here. Might be. Hi, Mark. Can you say happy 17th birthday to Lucas, says Sean. Yeah, happy birthday, Sean. Forget phase, he should be called feces, says Felipe. It looks offside, but I think he might be on. Yeah, he's on. It's a goal. Onside. Curtis Jones scored. He took it well. We asked what's for dinner, Mark. Awesome show, says Tom. What's for dinner? I've had it. I had coconut rice, pak choy, and sticky chicken. It was lovely. Fucking Liverpool. Mad Leicester going down. Never would have thought it's his MVP. First goal was always going to be big. It sets itself up for the counter now. I tell you what, I actually thought that phase looked quite good at the start of the season, but after Anfield, he's been terrible. I mean, it's just terrible defending. Don't let it bounce. This is probably common knowledge, but shocked to find an English manager has never won the Premier League. We definitely overhype English coaches, says Dan Kelly. And maybe couches as well. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, even before the influx of the Premier League, most winners of the old Division 1 were Scottish. Think about George Graham, Kenny Dalglish. In fact, I think the only... Oh my God. Oh, I'm on the verge of turning this off. It's 2-0. Well, what's wrong with these teams in relegation? They concede a goal and they go home. Bloody get the coats on. What are they doing? Fucking hell. I just don't get it. I mean, he might be offside that time. I hope he is. Again, I think he might be on. Hard to tell whether his foot is ahead of Johnny Evans on that line. Again, it's one that looks miles offside, but I reckon it might be on. I tell you what an improvement Curtis Jones has had. It's a close one. Here's the line. I think he's onside off the back of... I think he's onside. I think Johnny Evans' back foot is keeping him on. I think it's on. Fucking hell, Leicester. I mean, I'm gutted as a Man United fan because I want Liverpool to drop points, but it could be 3-0 here. Oh my God, what, have Leicester just given up? Everson's just saved a one-on-one. Jobs, if not a footballer, Southgate supplied teachers as Manchester United. Only took us 4 years for Curtis Jones to look good, says it's crossed. But to be honest, I think he's been very impressive tonight. Yeah, look, if you're a Leicester fan, you're going down. If you needed something tonight because you've got 30 points and you've got Newcastle next. So even if you win your last game, it's 33. They've got to give something huge now in this game. They've got to find something in this game because I don't think it's over yet. It's not like Man City against Everton at 2-0, that's over. But Leicester could get back into this, but I don't know how. I didn't think Dean Smith was a good appointment. By the way, I didn't think Dean Smith was a good appointment. I don't think Big Sam's a good appointment. I think Dyche will keep Everton up. Oh, that's always a rubbish one when it's like that, isn't it? Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have VAR does my head in. If it's that close, you have to zoom in and check for minutes. Just leave it as onside. We want goals, as Joshua Bowwater. I think both are onside, and I think they'll be proven to be onside. Yeah. I mean, Leicester fans can moan that they're tight, but it's bad defending. I mean, who's marking the bloody midfielder on both of those goals? Dyche impression. Well, at the end of the day, I'm Sean Dyche. That's Dean Smith. There's a big difference between Susan Boyle and Margot Robbie. And I'm Sean Dyche. I'm Margot Robbie. He's Dean Smith. And he's Susan Boyle. There's only one team in blue that's going to stay up this season. And it ain't going to be Leicester. It's going to be Everton. It's bloody embarrassing. At the end of the day, we got beat by Man City, but they're one of the best teams that's ever played football. This Liverpool side, it's got more holes in it than an arrow. So, yeah, get out of the league, Leicester. You're shit. Leave it to the big boys like Dyche and Big Sam. Mark, I meant if Man United will have a parade for winning the top four, says Debbie. Well, that's not a funny joke if you have to explain it. Do I think Leeds will go down? Yeah. They've got a better chance of staying up than Leicester. I think it's between Forest, Everton and Leeds now. Potter to Leicester, says Jack. What, in the Championship? It's better than that. Leicester have found their new Maguire in phase, says C. Harry Maguire at Leicester was a good player. Any Leicester fan will tell you that. 18,000 chewing in. Thanks for tuning in. I hate VAR. Get AI in now. It takes too long, says Cameron. And what on earth did Fergie see in Evans, says 50. You know, Johnny Evans is about 42 now. He was a good player, Johnny Evans, but he's probably had it now. Leicester need half time here. Here he goes, Diaz lays it off. This could be 3. He's offside. Side netting anyway. Mark, do you think Aston Villa can stop Liverpool? Says Little. At Anfield, it'll be difficult. Do you think Liverpool will get top 4, Mark? Says it's Crossbow. No. I think it's going to be close, but no, because I mean, I can't speak for Newcastle, but I can speak for Manchester United. And look, at the end of the day, Liverpool probably will win their last 3, which would mean 9 wins in a row. Which probably, look, if you win 9 games in a row, you probably deserve to get top 4. I don't think you can underestimate what Liverpool have done. I think Liverpool and Man City are the only 2 teams in the league that are capable of winning double figures of games in a row. You don't lose that habit, but I think Liverpool are going to run out of time because they can only get to 72 points regardless of how many games they win and by how many goals. If Man United and Newcastle win 2 of their next 3, then Liverpool can't catch them anyway. So I think Man United will beat Bournemouth away and Fulham at home and maybe Chelsea as well. So I'm sure it'll be tight, but I think we will do that. Newcastle, Brighton at home is tough for them. And then they've got Leicester at home. And I forget what their final game is. I can't remember what Newcastle's last game is. Let me know. Mark, what do you think of Blues takeover? PSG Rich, says Les Grown. Mark, would you take Messi if he was available, says Marek. Oh, yeah, probably Chelsea away. And that's difficult for Newcastle. Newcastle could be vulnerable if Liverpool win every game. I mean, it'd be bloody ridiculous if Liverpool get top 4, by the way. But they've done it before. I remember there was another season where everyone thought they weren't going to get it and they just finished the season strongly. So, favourite James Bond actor, says Reese. I did like Daniel Craig. Rest in peace. Not in real life. Notice how Salah passes the ball in the final third. United forwards, take notes. If we bottle top 4, I'll be fuming, says Tom Boone. Well, I'm still hoping that Leicester can have a kick up the arse at half time, but I think Leicester fans have been waiting for that since August. It's funny how Liverpool have started inverting their fullbacks, isn't it? Never really used to do it as much, but this season, especially the last few weeks, really started inverting his fullbacks a lot. The first goal is unforgivable, says JD. Mate, you can't defend like that. You're gonna, and they've been defending like it all season. It's terrible defending. They're in again. Gakpo, this is surely 3. Lays it off, Curtis Jones. Wow, they probably messed that up. Should have been 3. Leicester are hanging on here. They need half time. Thanks for all the super chats tonight, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 955,000. Leicester need a massive kick up the arse here. There's a skill gap here. They started off quite well in the first 12 minutes, but since then, they fell off a cliff. 3 o'clock games on Saturday are going to be really interesting. I mean, Man United are playing Bournemouth and Villa are playing Liverpool at 3 o'clock. It's massive. Have you met a honey badger yet, Mark? Says Rudolph the Red. I ain't worried about honey badgers. I've got sharks and polar bears to worry about. If Rashi's not fit, would you start Garnacho Saturday, says Ronnie? Yes. Trent will become very good in midfield, no doubt, says Enjoy Writing. But he's not playing in the midfield. He's just inverting as a right back. People keep talking about him playing in the midfield. I don't think we've seen him play in the midfield yet. You know, Newcastle might regret not beating Leeds. Who do I think is going to win the FA Cup? Manchester United. We're Manchester United. We've got to win it. We've got to win it. Hi, Mark. Maybe a poll for half time, but best team to ever be relegated, says Nicholas Walker. I don't. How does that work? If you get relegated, you deserve it. Who's the most famous person in your phone contacts, says LS? I can't answer that. Sunshine Gary Neville. That's probably why he doesn't like me. Oh, I've just realised that. I've been thinking about this for weeks. Wonder why he doesn't like me when we've never met. It's probably because I did that. Sunshine, Gary Neville. He probably hates that, doesn't he? I understand now. Henderson. We're about to hit half time here. I think he'll play in midfield regularly in the future, says Enjoy Writing. Oh, God, I didn't have a good night's sleep last night. Come on, Leicester, give it a go. Fucking hell, you're going to get relegated. It's half time. I tell you what, Dean Smith doesn't strike me as the sort of guy you bring in to keep a team up. If he does it, fair play. But I was like, he got bloody Norwich relegated. I don't see that. City is bigger than United, Mark. Accept it and move on. Our treble and glory days are here, says Moves. No. And Crystal Palace got 49 points in 1993 and still got relegated. Highest point total to ever be relegated. Well, there you go, Jim. That's the best team to get relegated because that's the most logical way to do it. You do it on points, don't you? There you go. I tell you what, I was just thinking there. Points tally chart show. We sometimes do a chart show on the United Stand where we sort of rank the top 10 players of the week, and it reminds me of a super chat we had on the United Stand a few months ago, where somebody said, "Could you rank the top 10 women you'd like to sleep with?" And of course, instantly I just started ranking it. No, I didn't. But I was just like, I don't know why that popped into my head then. It's troubled me for months. But imagine if I'd done that, objectifying. Well, no, you're not. I don't know whether you are objectifying women. If you're a heterosexual male who wants to procreate with women in a consensual way, you could rank your ideal consensual top 10. But as a married man, that everything gets clipped up. I would never have done it anyway. And actually, there's only one in my top 10, and that's Mrs. Goldbridge. But it did get me thinking of sort of funny top 10s you could do, like what's your top 10 favourite shits? Because I have got 2 or 3 that do stand out. What's your favourite? What's your top 10 Christmas dinners over the years? What's your top 10 Christmas presents? A bit of a Christmas theme here. What's your top 10 Tommy Tanks? We're being a bit bawdy here, but it's always what's your top 10 films? What's your top 10 footballers? What's your top 10 songs? But actually, you could do top 10s on things that are a little bit closer to the nail. What's the top 10 times you've seen? Maybe I'll say that. City is bigger than United, except it. I've done that one. Boring chat. That's definitely one of the most boring chats. Man United versus Bournemouth could be like your FIFA 23 streams. Very frustrating, says Kieran. Bournemouth. Bournemouth is actually the worst game in the world in the UK because their capacity is only 11,500. So if you live in the UK and you're playing Bournemouth and it's not on the TV, legitimately there is only 1,000 Manchester United fans that can watch that game. Everybody else who lives in the UK, of which there are thousands and thousands, have to find an alternative way of watching a game. And that, my friends, is why the 3 p.m. blackout in the UK is an absolute dictatorship, bullshit, wanker thing. How can you have that? How can you have Arsenal or Liverpool playing at Bournemouth with only 1,000 of their away fans able to go, and then thousands of everybody else, they think they're going to go and watch bloody Tranmere Rovers or Leyton Orient? Idiots. It's an idiotic piece of legislation that needs to be got rid of. Because I don't know a single Liverpool, Arsenal fan or Man United fan that when we're playing Bournemouth go, you know what, I can't go to the game because I couldn't get a ticket. It's not on the TV. So I think what I'll do in the afternoon is I'll pop down and watch Boreham Wood play. Doesn't happen. Can you sing the Haaland song for us, Mark? I don't know what it is. And thoughts on Curtis Jones recently? He's been good. I have already said that, Ajit. I've been impressed with him tonight. I'm not going to lie. How much of a difference would our attack be if we bought Gakpo instead of Weghorst? Gakpo is honestly really good, says Jo. Well, I think if Man United had bought João Felix or on loan or Gakpo on a permanent deal instead of Weghorst, it's a little bit like having 3 cars. And I won't even differentiate on model. The cars can all be the same. But in João Felix's car, there is a full tank of petrol. In Gakpo's, there is a full tank of petrol. And in Weghorst's, you're living on fumes. It's an empty tank. It's as simple as that. Hi, Mark. Moved to Barcelona from Sydney to study. Just watched the Barcelona parade, says Matthew. I bet that was very, very enjoyable. Mario, that's what everybody does, but obviously I can't shout it out. Why don't you support your local team, you Glory fan, says Lee? Because my now dead granddad was obsessed with Duncan Edwards and the Busby Babes. And from a young age, when I used to come home from like primary school, I used to go to my granddad's house with my grandma because she used to pick us up from school because my mum was working, and he was a builder, so he'd finish early in the winter because it gets dark at 3:30, and he'd be sat having his tea on his lap watching VHS tapes of the story of Manchester United and all that. So pretty much had it thrust into my face from probably 4 or 5 years age, Manchester United and what it's all about. So yeah, that's why I support Manchester United. And anybody who thinks that you should just support a team based on geography is a prat and probably has a few isms in them, if I'm being honest. Anyway, do you think Jones is a great player in the making, says Kays? I've been impressed with him tonight. I mean, I don't watch loads of Liverpool for obvious reasons, but I've been impressed with him tonight. I think their midfield this year has been very weak, but tonight it's looked quite good. So, Mark, are you having any That's Football meetups in the US this summer, says David? No. It's an honest answer, David. It might not be the answer you want, but no. We will do a That's Football meetup. Probably do a London show when we hit 1 million subscribers. But I can't find my bloody timer. Oh, here it is. But we won't hit 1 million subscribers in time to be doing it in America. It's half time. It's 2-0 to Liverpool. I did end a watch-along early yesterday when it was 2-0 to Man City against Everton, but this is a different game. Leicester have to find something here. They're at home. They've only got 2 games left after today, and they are going down. They're going down like the Titanic if they do not get something out of this second half. Iceberg dead ahead for Leicester. They have got 30 points. They've also got to go to St James's Park where they will lose. That will leave them with their last game at home to West Ham, where they may well win, but that would give them 33 points. That's not going to be enough for Leicester. They've got to get... if you want to be safe, I think you've got to get at least 34, maybe 35, possibly 36. Leicester have got to find points from tonight, otherwise they're going down. Simple as that. Can they do it? If they don't do it, I think the appointment of Dean Smith has been an absolute farce, really. They've left it too late. Armchair Lee, thank you. Is that your second one? You're gone, mate. You're boring. I think everyone's bored of you. You don't listen. You just repeat the same old stuff. You're like UK Gold. Do you think Man United could bottle top 4, says Daniel? I think anything's possible. I don't think we will, but I think anything's possible. What colour are your undies, Mark? So stop it. I'm not wearing any because I've got pyjama bottoms on. Who wears pants under pyjamas? Prats. Which reminds me, I need a stretch. I've not been stretching enough, and I've got a bad hamstring. Come on, give me some good top 5s. I can't do top 10s. They'll take too long. But top 5 funny / obscure things that I could do. Like top 5... I'm trying to think of stuff that's not too blue. But... what's your top 5 What's your top 5 breakfast cereals? That'd be good. But some top 5 dumps. I'm not going to give that information away, Rich. Suffice to say, there was a toilet at a former workplace, which we worked on the 3rd floor. This was on the management corridor on the 2nd floor. To get to this toilet, you had to get past 3 high executive managers' offices. And if they saw you down there, you'd better have a reason to be there. So you just walk along with a piece of paper and hope they never said something. But if you could get past them to that toilet, you went in through the door, you locked the door so no one else could come through, and then there was another door. Like there was like a shower unit, there was a sink, and then there was another door where you went to the toilet. And it just felt like a luxurious crap, really. And that was the holy grail of going to the toilet at work. And it was always very clean because it was on the management corridor. And it never stunk of someone else because it didn't get used that much. And instead of like the local Metro, there'd be like a book or The Guardian or something like that. It was a luxurious crap. In fact, one of my mates told me he used to lock the first door, take his clothes off, and then go into the second one and have a naked crap, which I've never done. I've never heard of that. If somebody knows about that, does it feel better if you're naked having a crap? I don't know what that's all about, but apparently it was quite liberating. I personally think it was one of those weird things like burglars. Sometimes our local co-op got burgled once, and they burgled the co-op. They came in through a skylight. They nicked a load of cigarettes and the money from the till because it was a local co-op. Then they poured cornflakes in the aisle and went for a crap on top of the cornflakes. And apparently that's quite common for burglars to have a shit. I think they get excited and they feel like they leave it. It's a bit like a bit like a lion leaving it. So that is a very true story. That is a true story. The local co-op got burgled. They nicked a load of stuff, whoever it was, and then they poured some cornflakes out in an aisle and had a crap on it. I don't know what the cornflakes were symbolic for. They didn't put any milk on or sugar, but yeah. I don't know what that was all about. Top 5 pubs in your neighbourhood, says David. Thank you very much, David. Oblivion is an underrated. We've done that. Top 5 biscuits. They've done. That says the tipster. Well, Hobnobbers would be there. Hi, Mark. Do you like Carl Pilkington? I've never watched it. Andrew. I know who it is, but I've never watched it. And deadline for next year season tickets payments moved forward a couple of months. Glazers worries people will cancel when they stay, says Night Sketch. Could be onto something. There. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right hand corner to do it. We're on the road to 955,000. Get involved with That's Football. We've got lots of watch-alongs this week. Real Madrid against at Manchester City on Wednesday for a place in the Champions League final. Liverpool are winning here, so Brighton Newcastle on Thursday takes on even more pressure for Newcastle, doesn't it? Especially with Brighton trying to get top 4 hopes. Is this the way to top 5 colours, says Ben Webster. I like that. Red's obviously going to be top. Top 5 worst pundits, says Sorry. I'd struggle to find a top 5 good pundits. I'm not joking. I mean, I like Ali McCoist when he's commentating. Yeah, I'd struggle. Mark, who do you think is getting relegated to Tiger? Right now, I think that bottom 3 goes down. There's potential for it to change, but yeah. Top 5 worst debuts, top 5 best worst contract signing outfits, i.e. Rio's white suit. David, I appreciate the super chat, but how long do you think I'm live for? I'd have to do research. Dominic says, my granddad saw Duncan Edwards play and said he was untouchable, best player I ever saw, even as a Wolves fan, says Dominic. Well, born in Dudley, not too far away. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on Finland getting robbed out of winning the Eurovision, says Robbo. I don't even know who won the Eurovision. Top 5 flavour crisps, says Barry. I do like posh prawn cocktails, Tesco finest. I do like cheese and onion. They'd be in my top 5. I'm trying to think. Top 5 types. Right, I'm going to stop the top 5s now. It's like bench, keep, sell. We have too many people tuning in. I just can't do them. There's too many now. I'm just going to ignore you and watch the match because it's about to start. I can't believe I can't think of a top 5 crisps. I've sort of not thought this through. What was your favourite game this season? 2-1 against City, says Mew. I don't really know, you know. I don't really know. I don't think those sort of things resonate with me anymore. I think for me it's about the finish line, you know? I mean, I think, you know, winning the Carabao Cup, having not won a trophy for ages, is probably my favourite game. Wouldn't be the best game on performance. I thought Barcelona in the new camp was a good performance, actually. But I like the big games. Unless we get beat 7-0. Right, Leicester, come on. Give us something in this second half, for fuck's sake. Come on. Leicester have got to give it some here. Can we talk about how underrated Mo Salah is? Never talked about by the media. Where does he rank amongst the best Premier League wingers of all time? Says Aman. But it's because he's not got a British passport, mate. I mean, I'm no Liverpool fan, but I've said this before. He's... he was offside anyway, Maddison. I've always said this about Mo Salah. He's one of the best players in the world and has been for the last 5 years, but he doesn't get anywhere near the coverage that someone like a Harry Kane would get. It's just British bias. Hi Mark, why do you think Mendy fell off so far? It's just he played shit against Forest, didn't he? You can see why Kepa's been playing. What a movie, says Doctor Strange. Yeah, give it a watch. I loved it. I wish I could watch that again. That's how much I liked that film. I'd watch it again. In fact, I will watch Air again soon. I liked it so much. I didn't realise. I did remember from The Last Dance, but I forgot because his dad's in Air, played by an actor. Obviously, it'd be impossible for him to be in the film. Michael Jordan's dad got murdered. Didn't realise that. I did, but I'd forgotten. That's not a spoiler, JMD. That's not a spoiler. Like, it was in Last Dance. It's got nothing to do with the film either. It's on Disney Plus as well, apparently. What are your top 5 spoilers? Well, I never tell people what I'm watching so it doesn't get spoiled. The worst spoiler I ever did, and this is a true story. Liverpool are on the attack. I've probably told it you before, but this is true. It's not even it sounds like it's made up, but it's true. It was a Saturday night, about 7 o'clock. I'm just about to go out down the local. And I'm sort of coming in and out of the living room because we had a walk-through living room in my old house. And I'm sort of doing my hair before I'm going out. And my stepdad's watching a film. And I'm sort of keeping an eye on it. And he's quite engrossed in it. But this was at a time, it was on Sky Movies, where they'd put the same film on every bloody week. So he's watching this film with Bruce Willis in it. And I'm saying, I quite liked this film. And he's like, yeah. And I said, you know what? I actually didn't realise until the end that he was a ghost and he was dead. And obviously he was watching The Sixth Sense. I'd never watched it before. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. But that was probably the worst spoiler I've ever done. Come on, Leicester, get a goal. Get one back. You're fighting for your lives. Oh, my God, where's the defence? Everson's made a right cock up there. Liverpool nearly scored. I mean, I don't understand how... don't understand how Leicester are so shit, because surely it's got to kick it. They've got good players who've underperformed all season. I think we can all accept that. But they're going to, when you get relegated, it's in your contract that you lose half your wages a lot of the time. So, you know, you're actually playing for your wages and your future. Zach says, what's your favourite Jersey Shore person? I don't think I've ever watched it. I just haven't seen anything from Leicester kicking in like that pure determination to, you know, basically what I'm saying is that a lot of teams in relegation, they start playing like prime Barcelona, and I just haven't seen it. Will you be doing a video reacting to Messi going back to Barca, or will you just react to Saudi rumours? Says no. But is he going back to Barca? I think I said in that video I wanted him to go to Barca, so I think you're being a bit sarcastic, aren't you? 3-0. Oh. Offside. Somebody just said a lot of these Leicester players are out of contract in the summer. Well, where's your professional pride then? Richard says Tillemans won't care because he's out of contract. Well, if I was a manager, I'd bloody care. I wouldn't. I'd be, if you know, I don't care if Tillemans is available or not. I think you can learn a lot about players when the chips are down. Would I want to take Tillemans? Look, maybe it'd be a really good signing, but he's been shit this season, and that would worry me when the going gets tough. He's going to down his tools, isn't he? You know, Roy Keane got relegated with Nottingham Forest and was bloody brilliant for them that year, and he went for a British transfer record to us, United. So, you know, you can still play well in a relegation side. I think some of these these Leicester players are, you know, shocking, really. Like Fader says, he's been playing like he doesn't care. And the minute you do that, Harvey Barnes, oh, great save by Alisson. Great save by Alisson. That was going in the top corner. Come on, Leicester. Have a go. Did well there, Harvey. There would have been an offside in the build-up, so they've done well to get the corner. I tell you what, it's a good job that didn't go in, actually, because that would have been offside in the build-up. Stats carousel's not going round. I'll sort it. Look at that. 73% possession for Liverpool. They'll score again in a minute. It's looking more likely that Liverpool will score. Winners of the Premier League Royal Runner, I reckon everyone. I don't know what that is, Liam. Tom Lee, thank you. Welcome to the Members Club. Sir Bosley to Newcastle, Mark, says Ben Jordan. Look, I think Newcastle's summer transfer window will be very interesting. Even if they don't get Champions League football, I think it will be interesting. But if they do get it, it'll be very, very interesting. I don't know why, but I've always liked Sionku. He reminds me of a Lindelof type of defender. Would you take him at United as the Royal Mail X? I think he's fell off as well. Sionku's had a bad season. I mean, he was a player that... I remember when we bought Harry Maguire and Leicester got Sionku, and it was like we got the wrong bloody centre-back, you know. But he's fell off a lot. Will Newcastle be able to attract the top players, says Jimbo? I think if they've got Champions League football, yeah. I mean, I'm old enough, unfortunately, to remember when Newcastle were decent in the Keegan years, and you know, they had some cracking players there: Les Ferdinand, Alan Shearer, Faustino Asprilla, David Ginola. People will go there if you've got the money and you've got the Champions League. I mean, bloody hell, people go and play in Saudi Arabia and China in the MLS. Like, it's only Newcastle. It's not prison. So yeah, they'll be able to attack players. Peter Beardsley was actually a Geordie, Jonathan, so I don't really think it's hard to attract a Geordie to Newcastle. Newcastle have hired a proper scout from Brighton, says Enjoy Writing. Ginola was a fantastic player. He was. It was hard not to like. Harvey Barnes into Vardy. Konate deals with him very well. Too strong for him. Way too strong for him there. Irish goalkeeper says, "Do Leicester get relegated if they lose tonight?" Well, they're not officially down because they've still got to play. They've still got 6 points to play for, but they've got Newcastle at St James's Park. They ain't winning there, and then even if they beat West Ham, it's only 3 points. It's just not. It's not going to be enough, is it? So they needed something tonight. Diaz on Maddison there. Looked a bit late. Looks like it should be a yellow. Oh, I don't know where that could be a red. Let's have a look. Probably not a red for me, but he has caught him late. It should be a yellow. I don't think he's even booked him. I don't get officiating. I really just don't get it. Like one ref's red card is another ref's play on. And that shouldn't have been a red, but I thought consistently I thought, well, that will be a yellow, but I don't know. It's like people who watch that Monday Night Football thing with Howard Webb, and I've seen people going, "Oh, I've got a lot more respect for VAR now." Why? VAR's not the problem. It's the inconsistency of the Prats running it. Like, I haven't got no more respect for them at all because they should just have a consistent set of rules. If that is going to be the benchmark for a foul, and that's going to be the benchmark for a yellow, and that's going to be a benchmark for a red, and that's going to be the benchmark for a handball. But what they do is, oh, that's a handball for me, but it's not a handball for me. Well, sometimes it's a handball for me and sometimes it isn't. They're just so bloody inconsistent. That's the problem with the referees. Liverpool are pushing here. What? I loved The Wire, Martin. Where can you even watch The Wire now? What? Who's got that? Amazon? Who's got The Wire? I know, like, Breaking Bad is still Netflix, I think. Sopranos is obviously Atlantic. HBO, so yeah, it'd be same as Sky, yeah. I'm tempted to. I keep getting tempted to go and revisit Game of Thrones, but then I think there's loads of series I haven't watched, so why go back and watch something? And the thing about Game of Thrones is, it's a little bit like, I think rewatching Game of Thrones, well, it's something that's really good at the start, and then you know at the end it's really unsatisfying. It's like a night out, isn't it? You know, you got the anticipation, it's really good. You know, you have a few to drink. You're having a great time. You've got no inhibitions. You know, you maybe, end up with something, and then at the end of the day, well, not the end of the day, in the morning, you wake up and you go, what have I done? What have I done? And that's a bit like Game of Thrones, isn't it? It ends badly. And I'm not even saying, like, the story end badly. Game of Thrones is like that. You ever seen that picture of that horse that's drawn really well at the front, and then the back, it's drawn by somebody else who's about 5? That's like it, Game of Thrones. It's brilliant for about 4.5 seasons, and then whoosh, terrible. The last season is a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, and it's such a shame. I gave up on the Walking Dead, Cormac. Yeah, and also that Monday Night Football, I agree with Chen. They picked the decisions they wanted to show us. It's scripted shite, really. Why didn't they show either of the Casemiro red cards? You know, they didn't show any of the real controversial ones, did they? But, you know, people suck it up. Half an hour to go here. Boo, Southgate. Boo. You're rubbish. Boo. Who are you watching here anyway? Same old shit. You pick the same squad anyway. They're all your mates. Why has Eze not been called up for England, you prat? You pick players who don't even get picked for their club team. You've made England into a farce. You don't need to get picked. You don't actually need to play club football to play for England anymore. Have you ever heard such nonsense in all your life? You don't actually have to play club football to get picked for England. He'll pick you on reputation from years ago. What's that all about? Picking players that don't even get picked for their domestic team. Teti and Daka coming on for Barnes and Ndidi. I'm surprised he took Barnes off. Maybe he's tired. Look, that's my big problem with Southgate. One, I don't think he's a very good coach. But two, I think international football is meant to be about picking the best players for your country. How can they be the best players when they can't get picked for their club? It doesn't make any sense. It's just nepotism. Why does Ten Hag need Benny McCarthy coaching forwards, says Enjoy Writing? Because, well, every top club now has different departments of coaches. There's a lot of fouls now. Look, I'm telling you now, even a point for Leicester gives them a chance. He thought Maguire still played for England for Leicester, says Kyle. Do you think Brighton would be as good as they currently are with Potter in charge, says Barry? Look, when Potter left Brighton, they were doing very, very well. So, you know, we'll never know. I don't know why, but I'm getting a feeling that Inter Milan will win the Champions League this season against City in the final, says no. I hope you're bloody right. I did watch The Last of Us, yes, LDL, I did. Please subscribe, by the way. We're only 300 away from 955,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. You're all very welcome. It doesn't matter who you support. Get involved with the channel. We are got lots of watch-alongs this week. And don't forget, Thursday night, it's a bonus one. We're doing Brighton's trip to Newcastle, which I think is going to be brilliant. I think that's going to be a cracking game. And also, as much as I wanted Leicester to get something tonight, this top four race is really hotting up. It's really hot. Because when you look at the table as it stands at the moment, look at that. Look at that. Liverpool are 1 point behind Manchester United and Newcastle. And if Newcastle were to lose to Brighton, they'd have played the same amount of games. So the pressure is on for Man United and Newcastle. And Newcastle got a tough game against Brighton. Everywhere they go, Brighton seem to dominate teams away from home. So, have you watched House of the Dragon? Yes, Liam. Podcast idea, David Brent as the host would be cracking, says D. Goddard. Oh yeah, I'm sure Ricky Gervais has got time to just do a podcast with me. Come on, Maddison. Nice little 1-2. Where's his final pass? Don't shoot. Nah, he took too long. What the fuck is he doing there? Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Good tackle. Have you seen a bit of the Super League in Denmark? Says Impossible Movies. No. Leicester just need a goal. They don't. The thing is, they don't. They are rubbish. This is the trouble, Spock. They're not even unluckily 2-0 down. Liverpool have been the better team by a bloody mile. They've been at... Dylan's right. They deserve to get relegated because they're crap. They actually are crap. They don't look like scoring, do they? I'd love to jinx them into power, but I did say 3-0 to Liverpool before the game. That was my score prediction, so... Oh, Tillemans is fucking rubbish as well. Oh my God. I can't believe how bad Leicester's passing is. Absolutely terrible.
Eurovision songs that scored.
Shut up about your Eurovision songs. Oh, my TikTok, 364,000 views of the greatest goal you'll ever see. If you follow me on TikTok, at Goldbridge Official, 364,000 views of the greatest goal you'll ever see. It is. I'll tell you what, it is good. It is good. I've got to say. It's on my Instagram story as well, at Goldbridge Mark. TikTok's amazing, isn't it? I'd love to watch the NFL playoffs, NHL playoffs, Will. When I retire, I'm going to start watching lots of sport. Celebration was amazing, says Muzab. Yeah, somebody said how many times did it take to do it? Look at Mick. Amazing if you're 12. Mick, I guarantee you couldn't do that. Just because you're jealous. I'm not even left-footed. 10 keep-ups and then smack it in top bins. You know, most mere mortals would throw it in the air, let it bounce and do it. I take it to... I season my challenges. Bit of salt and pepper on the top. My thought process was do 10 keep-ups and then whack it in the top corner. Also, it's a bit like, you know, when you're dating somebody on an app and they send a picture and you're not sure whether it's from 10 years ago. So you want them to put a copy of today's paper holding that up. If you do 10 keep-ups before you whack it in the top bins, you're not gonna try that 100 times because you'll be fucking there all night. It gives it authenticity. Bro celebrated like he scored the World Cup winner, says Bog. I just like to entertain. Gakpo, Salah, 3-0. No, Everton saves it. Jay says Leicester need to go down. They're not good enough. N says they need to be relegated. Alex says, do you think this has been one of the most exciting seasons in years? I don't... Look, again, any Premier League season should be judged after the last game of the season. And we are living in a society where people want to overhype things. I think we all know that. If on the final day we already know who's got top four, who's won the league and who's going down, I don't think it's delivered. We want the relegation battle to go to the last day. The title's not going to go to the last day. And you want the top four race to go to the last day. Johnny Evans is right there. Every time Liverpool win the ball, he said play on. Johnny Evans wins the ball and he says it's a foul. Well, he didn't get much of the ball, to be fair. Well, he did. Got quite a lot of the ball. I don't think that's a foul. He got the ball. He got the ball, B-Tech. He got some of the ball. Alex, thank you very much. But again, that's inconsistency, isn't it? Because in the first half, somebody got the ball and the player, and he said, got the ball. And now he's saying you can get the ball and it's a foul. Again, I get lost in the inconsistency with these referees. They make what is frustrating. I tell you what, I think it's been a really good Premier League season, but I think the officiating is disgraceful. And you can get Howard Webb sandwiched between Gary and Jamie, and we want some positive PR. But what a goal by Trent! What, straight off the training ground. That's a fantastic goal. You can't argue with that. What a goal. What a free kick that was. It's fantastic. I can't deny it. As a football fan, that was brilliant. As a Liverpool fan, it's sick. As a non-Liverpool fan, it's sickening. That's Leicester probably relegated. But I was going back to the officiating. It's just so inconsistent. They make it up as they go along. It's not even like one from game to game. It's from minute to minute. That was a foul. Now it's not a foul. Now it is a foul. Now it's not a foul. How hard is it to be consistent? Everton or Leicester to go down. I'm wondering whether the keeper should save that. No. It's not like the Pickford one with Gundogan. That is just a delightful free kick. It's curling. It's got power on it. Leicester are relegated. Cheerio. Yet another club let down by their players, I'm afraid. Dreadful. I did predict 3-0. I've played the game. I wanted Leicester to get something, but I fancied Liverpool to win it comprehensively, and they have, and I didn't think Leicester would score a goal. Does this end of season from Leicester change how we look at Rodgers' stint there, or where he goes next? Sad for a team that won the Premier League not long ago, says Tom. I've said this a few times. I'd be interested to get your opinions on this. Let me just pause it on that, because it will add weight to the conversation. So if we go back to the bottom of the league and pause it, right? I've been on about this for a minute. Paddy says, good night, Mark. That's it now. I've been on about this for a bit. I think if you look at the teams that have struggled this season, there's a massive amount of problems with the players. Obviously, players have always got to take the blame. Managers will always take the blame. But I think this season is a real eye-opener for people who've been blagging it. Tielemans and Maddison on the cheap? No way. I won't go anywhere near them, Panini. I won't go anywhere near them. I'm not saying they won't be good players for somebody else, but I don't like the mentality of Maddison and Tielemans this year. If you I've seen players get relegated and they never stop. I think some of these Liverpool players, these Leicester players have been shit. I wouldn't go anywhere near them. Let someone else buy them. I don't want them in United shirts. We've had enough bottlers over the years. I don't want it. But I think this season, because of the quality of the coaching at teams like Villa and Brentford and Fulham and Brighton, it's sort of exposed. Owners have had to know what they're doing, and owners who don't know what they're doing have ended up being exposed. Southampton have been relegated, not because they're not an established Premier League club. They've been relegated because their owners messed up multiple times. And there is no newly promoted teams that just are shit. There's no Norwich this year. Like, the newly promoted teams have been managed well on and off the pitch. Southampton, down. Messed around with their manager. Bad decisions. Leicester are going to go down. Messed around with their manager and appointments from the top. Leeds, messed around with their managements and appointments. They're down there. Everton took too long to sack Lampard. They're down there. Look at the other teams that are in the relegation battle. Nottingham Forest have stuck with Steve Cooper when a lot of people are saying you should sack him. Bournemouth with Gary O'Neill. They stuck with him when a lot of people said they should sack him. Moyes at West Ham. They stuck with him when a lot of people said they should sack him. Look, it's always a fan's job to be a little bit of a flip-flop. Sack him, we've had enough, get Moyes out. I get it. But the owners that have gone, I can't see anything better than what we've got, have ended up staying up. And those owners that have gone, yeah, we're sacking him, they've not sacked. Rodgers has not been replaced with a better coach. Jesse Marsh has not been replaced with a better coach. Southampton, Hasenhüttl was not replaced with better coaches, and that comes down to strong leadership. Like I understand that there's a lot of teams that have had bad seasons, but where was your decent replacement? The only team that got it right was Everton, and they took a bit of time to do it. But you sack Lampard and you get Dyche, it's an upgrade. Everybody else, they've just sacked. I mean, Leicester sacked Rodgers, had 2 home games and used caretakers. They used the milkman. That's 6 points you could have had. And now you need to beat teams like Liverpool and Newcastle. Cheerio, you're gone. You're gone. Wolves got it right. They took their time. They brought a good coach in. Villa got it right. They sacked Gerrard. They brought Emery in. The only one I'd say that was a bit risky was Palace. Vieira to Hodgson, I was like, what's going on there? But then Roy had just managed Palace and knows those players. But I think this is the season that needs to be remembered of how bad ownership can destroy a football club. And Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, those 3 clubs, and Everton, even though I think Dyche is better than Lampard, they took too long. But those bottom 3 clubs had paid the price of sacking managers without a plan. Never sack a manager without a plan. Chelsea did it. Spurs did it. Look, it's not all about relegation. Like, Spurs were in the top 4. They were in a Champions League battle when Conte went. They're sinking like a stone now. Chelsea. Oh, Potter out. Like in Lampard, don't sack a manager if you haven't got a better one lined up. See it through till the end of the season. I think Southampton would have stayed up with Hasenhüttl. I think Leeds would be in a better position with Jesse Marsh. I think Leicester with Brendan Rodgers would be better off. They might have still gone down, but I think they'd be better off. It's silly season the way the clubs are run these days. I think enjoy writing is correct. I think that I think I 100% could run some of these football clubs better than the way they've been run. And so could you, because we're football people. I'm not a Leicester fan, but I wouldn't have done what they've done. I wouldn't have got Dean Smith in, and I wouldn't have given a caretaker manager 2 games at home. Why? You know why they did it? They sacked Rodgers. They've got 2 home games in a row. You know why they sacked him? You always get a new manager bounce. Not in this league, mate. You ain't getting a new manager bounce in this league unless you get a good manager. You don't get a new manager bounce. This is the most competitive Premier League we've had in years. Oh, you're gonna put a milkman in charge for 2 games, and he's gonna beat the likes of Fulham and Brentford. You're having a bloody laugh. Respect the league. If you're gonna sack your manager, make sure you've got someone lined up the very next day, and they didn't. All the bounce of a dead pigeon, says Steve. I can't remember what those 2 games were for Leicester that they had, and they blew it. Here we go. I'm going to be wrong. It's not going to be 3-0. It's going to be 4. Salah is missed. Bloody missed it. Well, goal difference doesn't really come into it for the top 4 because United is terrible. If we end up on the same points with Liverpool, they'll finish above us. Thanks everyone who's tuned in anyway, by the way. Make sure you subscribe. We thought, we knew this game was going to be big. Obviously, a lot of Liverpool fans are going to be happy. Forest fans are going to be happy. Leeds fans, Everton fans. You've basically just seen another team relegated tonight. Not officially, but they will go down. And they're dreadful. They're dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Do. The big thing for Leicester is, I don't know whether we've got any Leicester fans watching, do you stick with Dean Smith next year? Because I'll tell you what, if you do, he might get you promoted, but he'll get you relegated again in a couple of years. I never understand clubs that keep managers that get them relegated unless it's a manager that's actually got a distinctive style of play. Would Ollie's caretaker bounce happen now, says Umzi? No. I mean, look at the first game. It was Cardiff. Like, the league's too strong now. You don't just get a new manager bounce. The league's too strong. Dean Smith was a bad appointment. I thought it at the time. I think a lot of people did. I mean, can I just say they've conceded 8 goals in their last 2 games and they're fighting relegation? Oh, all the fight of a dead cat. Or a fox. Dead fox. Andy Robertson wants a penalty. Is he going to get it? Has he given it or has he given a corner? Technically, it probably was a penalty there. That's 0-0 and it matters. That's probably a penalty, but not given. Mark, have you seen Frankie de Jong is the biggest person on Barca's league winning poster? Could it be a message he's going nowhere? I don't think he is going anywhere, James. I think they wanted to sell him last year for money. I think he's too important to them to sell him now. Yeah, I think that's a disgrace, isn't it? 8 goals conceded in 2 games when you're meant to be fighting for your life. Can't even get him to fucking defend properly. I mean, park the bus and hit on the brake. Like, what sort of tactics have Leicester played in the last 2 games? Look how quick Allison is off the line as well. Brilliant. Pablo says, do you see Liverpool in the Champions League next year with this win? All Liverpool can do is keep winning, and they're capable of keeping winning. If Man United and Newcastle don't get top 4, it's because they blew it. Liverpool can only, even Klopp said it the other day. He said, look, we really shouldn't get top 4 because if Man United and Newcastle keep winning, we can't do it. So Man United have got Bournemouth and Fulham and Chelsea. They need 2 wins. They should win 2 of those games. Newcastle have got Brighton at home, Leicester at home, and Chelsea away. They should win 2 of those games. But the great thing for Liverpool is it's not just Man United you're counting on dropping points. It's Liverpool. It's Newcastle. So you've got 2 throws of the dice, really. It's not one team. It's 2 teams that could mess up. So Liverpool's chances are reasonable of getting top 4. They've still got to beat Villa next week. And you'd expect them to beat Southampton at Southampton, but you never know. Southampton might have a bit of pride for their last game. But if Liverpool get top 4, it will be remarkable. And Mohamed Salah's just had a hat-trick of assists there. Villa will be a tough game, but remember Villa got beat at Old Trafford and Molineux, so they are a bit. They're not where they probably were a few weeks ago. Tillemans has been a disgrace, Mad. I wouldn't go anywhere near Tillemans. PSX says you sound annoyed. Well, mate, I'm not annoyed. I mean, look, you can't. I don't think you can have competitive sport without rivalry, and I think sometimes people get. It's almost like you're meant to watch football as a robot. Like, of course, I would love Leicester to win because it makes our job for top 4 more, and I don't like Liverpool because they're our biggest rival, and it's reciprocal. But I did also predict that Liverpool would win comfortably 3-0, and they are winning 3-0. So you know, it's competitive sport. It's competitive sport, isn't it? But I said the same as Southampton as I say with Leicester. It's shocking, and you do feel for the fans because you've got no control in these players. I did it with Man United last year. I mean, we didn't get relegated, but for a team like United, that sort of form was disgraceful. If Oli managed PSG, he'd win the Champions League, says Umzi. It definitely wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't. Hi Mark, just left the ground. Never been so disgusted, says Alexander. I feel for you, mate. I feel for you. I think that I haven't watched lots of Leicester this season, but you normally, in a relegation battle, you see a team suddenly start playing like they haven't played all season. And actually, Leicester are getting worse. You very rarely see a team that's got a chance of staying up. You know, these are the sort of games where if Leicester was playing at the Etihad, if they won 1-0. Well, look at Everton last week at Brighton. Totally illogical result. But that's because Everton are fighting for their lives. Not seen any fight from Leicester. It's shocking. And they're done now. I mean, are they going to go to Newcastle and pull off a miracle? That's what they need. Four minutes to go. Salah's going to come off for RV Elliott here. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. If you haven't subscribed, please do it. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved. We've got a few watch-alongs for you this week. We've got Real Madrid, Man City on Wednesday night. What a game that's going to be. And then Brighton's trip to Newcastle on Thursday. What a game that's going to be now, because it puts a bit of pressure on Newcastle. I mean, imagine if Brighton went to Newcastle and won. Newcastle would have to beat Leicester and Chelsea in their last two to guarantee finishing above Liverpool. 4 points wouldn't be enough if Liverpool won all their games. So that's a massive game. Hi Mark, I was at the Everton game yesterday. Do you think we have enough to stay up? Says Everton. Yes, I do. Ricky said without Rashford we would be fine and the goals would come from other players, is the objective truth. I forget Everton's games, but Everton have got 32 points. I think one more win should do it for Everton. And you've got Wolves and Bournemouth. I fancy Everton to get at least 3 points. I think that would take them to 35. So Everton, one more win will do it. If you get a draw and a win or 2 wins, you're well safe. So yeah, I think I can see Everton getting to 35. Leeds would therefore need a win and a draw from their last two. They've got West Ham away and Tottenham at home. They could get something at West Ham because West Ham will have played on Thursday night. They could do it and they could beat Tottenham. I think Leeds are a bit. It could get silly, but then again, you know, imagine if Leeds won their last two and Everton won their last two. That puts them up above. You know, that puts them up there with bloody West Ham. So West Ham have got to be a bit careful. Because West Ham's last couple of games, they've got Leicester and Leeds. So West Ham should be safe, but type inside a shark attack if you want to see a boat attacked by a shark, says Kenneth. I don't. I want to sleep well tonight. When I was a kid, I used to dream about a great white shark swimming up my road. And I live in the Midlands. Mark, are you going to watch the Newcastle-Brighton game? We're going to do a watch-along, Andrew George, Thursday night. Hello, Mark. Early top 5 most likely teams to win the Champions League next year, says Mohammed. I find it hard to predict who's going to win the Champions League in bloody September, let alone the year before. But I'd put Man City in there. Ooh. I think 5th place might get you Champions League football next season, Sean, based on how you've done in the past. Ollie's counter-attacking is suited to PSG, says Umzo, mate, you need to watch more football. Curtis Jones redemption arc, says Lewis. A lot of Liverpool fans have been saying for a while that it's been getting better. Three minutes of added time. If I'd known Leicester were going to be this shit, I probably wouldn't have watched this game. I almost feel like apologising, even though I'm not a Leicester fan. Thanks, Enjoy Writing. Godspeed, pal. I really did expect a team that needed to get something out of it at home, or they're going to get relegated to the Championship, would have played better. They've been rubbish. Maddison's been rubbish as well. Vardy's, been in a graveyard shift. Tielemans has been absolute shite, by the way. He's just played another bad pass. I don't think he's played a decent pass all night. Is he the captain as well? He's rubbish. I can't believe how bad Tielemans is. I can't believe how bad Leicester is. Good luck in your GCSEs if anyone's doing them. Do they do the same GCSEs on every day? Because I know somebody who did drama today. Drama and... was it RS? I presume everybody does it the same day, don't they? Yeah. Yeah, it's the same all around the world. All around the world. Magash says, I've got no sympathy for Leicester. That's what happens to you when you charge people £80 million for Harry Maguire. Fair point. It is a fair point. I personally looked at it the other way. We gave you £80 million for a £50 million player. That's £30 million to go and do a job tonight. Oh, Tielemans has just played a good pass. It's possible. Passable. I mean, where's Maddison going? Not good enough, Dean Smith. Not at this level. To be fair, Tielemans is probably already thinking about his next move, but he's not making himself look like a valuable target, says Stephen. That's exactly what I tweeted. I said this about Tielemans. I said, what did I say about Tielemans on Twitter? I said, wouldn't go near Tielemans. Free or not, you learn a lot about a player who can't be asked for a year and their ability to play consistently at the top level. Not what we need. Not necessarily what some people agree with, but I think he's been shite. Could be a Tottenham signing, says Jay on Twitter. Anyway, look, thanks everyone for tuning in. Really enjoyed the watch along. The chats are always good. I predicted 3-0 to Liverpool. I should get a prize for that, didn't I? It's very difficult to predict an exact score in a game of football, but yeah, 3-0. And well done to Liverpool. You are putting up a fight for the top 4, and it was easy work tonight. I'm baffled by Leicester. I mean, if that's a team that's fighting relegation, and I don't get it. But, it was a bit of a boring result in the sense of... but no, Leeds and Everton and Forest fans will be very happy, won't they? Thanks, everyone, for watching. Who would you rather get... Oh, this is a difficult one to end off with. Bosk says, who would you rather see relegated, Forest or Everton? If I'm being completely honest, I'd rather see Forest get relegated. There's just something about Everton that I've always liked. And I think it's the last season of Goodison Park next year, isn't it? So I'd like to see a few more games at Goodison. But I think they'll both stay up. I think Leeds and Leicester... Well, I think Leicester are gone and I think Leeds would go down. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Take care. And we'll have some content for you tomorrow. Remember, we've got lots of watch-alongs this week. Don't forget to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get your notifications on. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Take care.